For weeks and even months now, the forest has longed for rain. We've had a short drizzle here and a brief shower there, but it was gone before the ground could drink it. Now the moss is brittle, the soil is turning to sand, and underfoot the earth almost crackles with each step. Most fungi never even had a chance to emerge, yet in the dryness a few still managed to break through. Fragile lives clinging to the forest floor or a decaying log when everything else has withered away.
So come along and let's see if we can locate any survivors or any of those resilient enough to endure. My name is Odin and welcome to Fungi of the North. Here's our first survivor of the day, found in bone-dry moss, partially covering a tree stump. This is the Amanita rubescens.
Amanita rubescens is better known as the blusher. It takes its name from the way the flesh slowly blushes gentle pink when bruised or cut. There is a quiet elegance in its form. A cap painted in shades of brownish pink, often flecked with pale, mottled remnants of its protective veil. Beneath, the crowded white gills, and lower still, a slender stem adorned with a fragile fluted ring. Though considered edible when thoroughly cooked, it belongs to a family that harbors some of the most dangerous fungi on Earth, and is not one for the careless hand. I must say I'm slightly bewildered having this as my first discovery of the day, yet here it is. To find such a species thriving here, in a forest stripped bare, it's quite a testament to the hidden resilience of fungi.
So there is life here after all, even in this bone-dry wasteland of a forest. I'm happy to see that.
Normally, chicken of the woods is a blaze of yellow and orange, but here in the harsh sun, it's been bleached almost white, a reminder of how even the most vivid fungi can fade under pressure. Yet fading in color doesn't mean fading in purpose. Chicken of the woods grows from rotting wood, and in that choice of home lies its advantage. As the wood slowly breaks down, it releases a trace of moisture, just enough for the fungus to draw from when the forest floor itself is bone dry. What seems like decay is in fact a quiet lifeline, keeping this mushroom alive even as its brilliance slips away. I made a separate spotlight video about this species, where I go into its colors, uses and character in more detail.
Even stripped of its color, it still does what it has always done, breaking down the wood it grows from. Its color may fade, but its role never does. Some mushrooms don't really need an introduction. This one should be recognized by most. This is the Fly Agaric.
Few fungi have captured the human imagination quite like this one. Its scarlet cap speckled with white dots really stands out against the forest floor. For centuries, it has appeared in fairy tales and folklore, tied to shamans, spirits and visions. And some still keep many of these practices alive to this day, and so may you, unknowingly. Ever seen these Christmas decorations? It is also one of the most photogenic species in the fungal world, a subject that seems made for the lens, as if nature itself intended it to be admired. And beyond its beauty, the Fly Agaric reminds us that fungi are not only part of our ecosystems, but also part of our imagination.
This is more than just a mushroom. It's a cultural symbol, a reminder of how deeply woven fungi are into our stories and our culture.
Just like in my first video, I don't come here only to collect names and facts, but knowing is still part of seeing. These walks are as much about silence as they are about discovery. In a season like this, the forest feels emptied, stripped bare by the sun. A dry forest has its own kind of silence. Footsteps sound sharper, the air feels thinner, and the ground no longer carries the softness of moss. At this time of year, the forest is usually alive with hundreds of species of fungi. Now, there may not even be a third of that, and in much smaller numbers. But the mycelium waits beneath, silent until the conditions call for it, and here we are. Yet, even in scarcity, there is still something worth seeing, still something worth remembering.
Here, scattered across these wood chippings, there are many mushrooms, but everyone has shriveled due to the drought. Everyone, apart from one.
This is the Pluteus cervinus, better known as the deer shield. It's a common species, often easy to overlook, but here it stands alone amongst its dead brethren. Its cap is usually a soft greyish fawn to darker brown, smooth and often slightly bell-shaped when young, before flattening with age. Underneath are crowded gills, pale at first, then turning a delicate pink as the spores mature. It grows from dead wood, stumps, logs or buried roots, and continues its role of recycling wood even when the forest floor is dry. The name cervinus refers to the deer-like antlers visible only under the microscope, a small reminder that even modest species hold hidden details.
One survivor among many fallen, a quiet reminder of persistence.
Check this out. Sometimes survival is a matter of finding shelter. Beneath this stone, in the shade and the lingering moisture, a few Chanterelles have managed to find cover. And I must say, this perfectly encapsulates the overall theme of this whole video.
Most colors in the forest fades under this drought, but every now and then, an exception stands out.
This exact species is the Primrose Brittlegill, Russula sardonia, a member of the wide and colorful Russula genus, known for its brittle flesh that snaps like chalk. Russulas come in a stunning range of colors: reds, purples, greens, yellows, and while some are edible, others are painfully sharp. Identification is often tricky, but one old method is a simple taste test to see whether the flesh is mild or biting.
Many of these Russulas, when they have vibrant colors like this, they tend to be quite sharp. But we can do a simple taste test to find out if this is edible or not. Take a bite of the gills, chew it lightly, and leave it on your tongue. Oh, and this one is very sharp, as I suspected. Oh my god.
This was a sharp Russula sardonia indeed, one of the many russulas that remind us of the fine line between edible and inedible in this family. Still, their presence adds a kind of brightness to the forest floor. In a season where so much has faded, even one healthy Russula stands out, a burst of color in an otherwise muted landscape. In a season this dry, the best chance of finding fungi is to follow the water. Even a narrow stream like this creates its own microclimate: cooler air, damp soil, and a little more shade. Along its banks, the moss stays fresh and the roots stay damp, and the plants grow a little greener, underlining how much difference a trace of moisture can make.
Down here, we have something most people would walk straight past. It looks almost too simple to be interesting, but this is Neolecta Vitellina, and it belongs to one of the most ancient branches on the fungal tree of life.
It's a strange little fungus, often no more than a cluster of small yellow clubs pushing up from the soil. Rarely abundant, it appears in scattered patches, usually in poor soils among pine tree roots. Unlike the guild mushrooms that dominate the forest floor, Neolecta comes from a primitive branch of the Ascomycota, and it is sometimes called a living fossil, a glimpse of what fungi may have looked like long before the forms we know best appeared. Finding it here when so many other species have disappeared feels unlikely, but scarcity has always been its nature. Even in good years, it is never common. That may be part of why its presence stands out now, a small reminder that survival doesn't always come in numbers or in size.
It doesn't look like much, this little thing, but it carries a lot of history. And it's a survivor, not just of this drought, but of ages long before us. We actually found a lot of interesting discoveries today, and that proves once again that... Oh, a drop of rain.